Shalawam, shalawam. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. Share live out real quick. Whew. Hey, shalawam, Malak, shalawam. All right, we're going to start in about a minute, man. About a minute. And hey, the feast of dedication is officially over. You know, if anybody was wondering that, right? Whew. All right, hey, facing the east, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to the Father and the Son, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the Great Millstone, also known as GMS. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. As always, it's your brother Yerami Kazak back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. All right, the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah equals He is, He exists. Yahawashi equals He saves, He delivers, He is salvation. And Rakakadash equals a spirit that's holy, a spirit that's set apart. Right? This lesson will be entitled Gog, O Gog. Okay? And I guess this is brothers may make this mistake. I was talking to a brother this morning and he didn't really understand this. So I'm gonna just go into it a little bit. In Ezekiel 38th chapter. And we can read about it. Let's just get right into it. Prophecy about Gog and future invasion of Israel. Now, let's go first. Let's go to the table of nations to get a full understanding. Table of nations. Right here. Now, I ain't going to go through it all. I'm going to just deal with the specifics. And who are we talking about? We're talking about what you know as Magog or the Russians. All right. Now, would the people in Russia today be the original inhabitants? No, because due to certain wars like the Crimea War, all right, the Caucasian War, okay, they have took over the land of Magog. They have took over this land. That nation has been took over or, pushed out of that land. So the inhabitants that used to inhabit Russia, these are not the same people. Okay? Who inhabits Russia now? It would be what you know as the Edomites. All right? That's who inhabits Russia right now. Okay? So That land is known as the land of Magog. So let's read it. And the word of Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Now, some brothers may look at this and be like, well, these are different people. No, this is prophesy against him. This is talking about this nation, all right, the nation of Magog, and that king, whoever's at that place, which is Meshach and Tubal, the chief prince. This is the same individual, which Yahawah is breaking it down. He's addressing them. He's not really addressing the Japhetic nation because they no longer dwell in the land of Magog. He's addressing who dwells in that nation, and he allowed it to be. He allowed those Edomites to take over that place. So he's addressing the Russians. This is who he's talking about. All right. And furthermore, brother said, grab the word chief in the Hebrew. Let's get it. And he said it's Rasha. Khan. Right there. All right. That's beautiful. All right. Head, top, summit, upper part, chief, total, sum, height, front, beginning. All right. So this is who it is. These Russians. Okay, which, understanding that's in that land, as we're stating 3 or 4 times, just to make sure everybody understands, these are Edomites. These are not the original Russians, the original Magog, the original inhabitants. But these individuals have took over this land. The Edomites have took over this land. All right. Let's real quick, let's go look this up. You got what you known as black Russians. All right. And some people still dwell in that land. Now, some of them could be Jake, and some of them could be Japhetic, which are, more so tribal people. I really can't find, I can find a couple photos. They may label them as African Americans or whatever, but some of them are not Jake. All right, like this individual. Okay. I guess this individual, all right. But I got actually a documentary set up, and I need to go get it, probably do another lesson on it. But you have what you known as black Russians. When Israelites ruled Russia, and also the Japhetic natives, which are actually indigenous to the land that lived there, they were given that land by the Most High. They was there as well. Okay, so, we understand that all these nations on the table of nations, all these nations were what you call melanated, man. All right, except the nation of Edom, Adawan. This nation was the only nation that had that curse, that pigmentation, being red. All right, every other nation was dark skinned. Okay. Hold up, man. What's wrong with you? Stop. It's lucky. All right, we good. Kakuma, I knew you was gonna say something about a belt. Damn, she can't cry now? Like a 2-year-old can't cry? The brother said, I follow an Afro-Russian Eve on here. Hey. And that's furthermore letting you know we scattered all over the place. All right. Just because we were the original, we was the Irish, the Scottish, all of that. A lot of us came to the Americas, but not all. Okay? Some of us stayed in those lands. Some of us are still in those lands. All right? So this is how you can find, you still got a lot of Jake in the UK. It's a heavy population of Jake in the UK. All right? It's a heavy population of Jake in what you call the so-called Middle East, the Levant region. You got Jake all over this planet, right? And then you have Japhetic individuals all over this planet as well, due to them, in a sense, being scattered. Now, they are not the people, but they also got pushed out of their land, okay? They don't inhabit mostly their land. They got pushed into islands. They got pushed into different parts of the planet, right? So when you understanding this, I just, really going over it just to make sure that you understand that this is talking about the modern day Russians, modern day, which would be Edomites. All right. So, son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. All right. The same person, same individual, same nation, same president, same whatever, same king. And say, thus saith Yahawah power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So the Most High is going to raise this nation up. You have what you known as the Soviet Union. Let's get a picture of it. All right, the Soviet Union. I want to get a map of it to show how much it actually encompassed. Let me see. With those countries. Man, ain't none of... Okay, this is a good one. All right. So you can see how big the Soviet Union was back in the day. It was massive, and Putin has stated this before. He want to get some of those countries back that were once under the Soviet Union. Look how big it was, man. It was massive. This is huge. All right. It stretched all the way to what is the the Mediterranean Sea. All right. All the way down into Iran, all of that. All right. So this was a massive land. Well, that's actually the Black Sea right there. All right. But this was a massive amount of land that they ruled back in the day. Yep. That feet is a bear. We'll get that. So that's their mindset. So the Most High is putting that mindset back on them to rise up and be in that way again, to take over and be in that again. All right. Now, verse 5, Persia, which is the Iranians, all right, Iran and other nations, that would simply be Elam, the nation of, let's go back to it, let's go to the table of nations. Okay. And that would be Elam, which Indians, Elam. All right, Pakistan, India, and the Iranians, those are Persians. All right, so Elam, that's all they are. All right, so they will join, and as you can see, they are joined with them. Let's get that. Let's just type in Russia and Iran relations. Russia and Iran share a depending strategic partnership formalized by a 20-year treaty in early 2025, driven by shared opposition to Western dominance. especially U.S. sanctions, leading to increased military drones, tech sharing, and energy nuclear cooperation, right? So they're joined together against the West. Who is also with the West? Who runs the West? Them small hats. You know what I'm saying? So they're joined together against them, right? So what you've been seeing is proxy wars. A proxy is an individual, a nation, a group. You know, like that's what we see, man. Agents. You can look at these goofies, the Genesis, the Sakari. These are proxies. That's nothing more than proxies, man. All right. Esau can't come at us 100%. So they sending individuals, you know, to us to come at us. It's a battle before a battle. So that's all it is. It's proxies. So the Hamas, the Al Qaeda, you know, what else? The Taliban, all that BS. It's just a proxy. Okay? They want to fight. The nations want to fight, but it's not that time yet. So you have these proxy wars. So as you can see, Russia and Iran, or Magog and Elam, the Persians, right? They are joined together economically and militarily, all right? And that includes nuclear weapons, nuclear cooperation. Though it's a transactional alignment based on mutual needs, not a formal military alliance, with both countries leveraging each other for economic and geopolitical support amidst isolation. Now, these things always they always are militarily, because you're supporting one's interests. And Russia has stated on multiple accounts that if Israel continues to attack Iran, then Russia will step in. Now we know that the Most High he's holding and he's controlling everything. Let's get a precept, because nothing's just don't think anything is just gonna pop off like that, where, you know, it's going to pop off in an appointed time. All right. This is Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore, wait ye upon me, have that patience, and patience possess ye your souls, saith Yahawah, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, right? So he's gathering these nations, okay? He's gathering these nations, all right? Brought to you by an angel of light, by the way. I don't know what you're talking about, right? So I'm going to just, you know, off that comment, just mute you up, man. We don't know you. We don't owe you. You're not a teacher over here, okay? Brother got Joel 3:2. That's a good one. Let's get that. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahawah Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land, right? So that's where the main battle is going to take place, where Yahawashi is going to appear. 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, lets you know, he's coming to do battle with them at that point in time. Plead, yeah, Isaiah 66:15 going downward. He's going to plead with these nations, right? And fire and whirlwind, those chariots and those ICBM missiles. Okay, brother got a precept, 2nd Esdras 4:37. Let's get that. And it reads, by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he doeth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. Right? So as the Most High has patience, we need to have patience. That's also going into faith. Right? Yeah, we want this place to be over with. Of course, he wants it to be over with as well, but he has enough patience to stick to the story that he wrote down. You know, he can't go ahead on his word, or his word would mean nothing. So the Most High does not change, you know? So you can't, and this goes into your everyday life, man. You know, you know you don't supposed to do nothing on the Shabbat. But you be like, oh, well, let's just do something this one time. You breaking your word, right? It goes into a certain type of habit that you're building for yourself, right? You're rehearsing the righteous acts. So that rehearsal, every time you rehearse, you should get better. You should know your lines more. You should know the steps. You should know where to be in the part of the play. You know what I'm saying? So that rehearsal is extremely important, all right? Let's get some more in that Joel 3. Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. These weak nations, a nation like North Korea 20 years ago could not stand up against the U.S. Now they're in a position with allies, right, where they can stand up against the U.S. A nation like Gomer, which is Turkey, they could not stand up. Now they're in a position joining with Russia where they can stand up. Iran couldn't stand up, but now they're in a position where they're not scared to attack Israel. They're not scared to go back and forth, right? So you have alliances and development in these countries where a weak nation can say, now I am strong, because once a nation gets nuclear capacity, oh, everybody's strong. And that's like you look at it, man. You look at it in this world we live in. Everybody used to fight. You know, used to fight, boom, boom, boom. But then, you know, you just want that dude, you can't beat him up. Yeah, he beat your ass. Boom, okay. But then you go get a pew pew. Now, oh, it's an even level field for everybody. That's how nuclear warfare is. I could take you out. You could take me out. You understand? So everybody thinks that they're strong now because they have nuclear capacity. Now, it's not many nations that have that capacity. It's about 7 nations. But it will be widely, you know, it will be transitioning to a lot of nations having that capacity. All right, where they're going to be able to send nukes at places. And then when that happens, understand this. Everybody is going to turn their nukes to America. Okay? We literally just read Joel 3:10. You know, Kakamo's probably asleep when I was reading it, but I'll read it again for him. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. All right? So that's what we were just reading. You know, so yeah, every nation, these nations are going to be from weak to strong. They're turning strong because of nuclear warfare. All right. Oh, damn, for real, Ak? Hey, man. Hey, prayers out to you, Ak. You know, you and your moms. For real. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Barak, Ahtham. All right, brother said his mom was in a car accident. Verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahawah. Right? And that's the same thing that was stated in Zephaniah 3:8. This is what he's doing. The Most High is rounding up these individuals. All right? He's putting spirits on these nations to get back into that war mindset. You know, now let's take it back over to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. All right. So Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmets. Now the Ethiopia, you know, and Libya, this is talking about Hamitic nations, which Russia has a good relationship with a lot of Russian nations. Let's look this up. Russia's relations with Africa are expanding rapidly, focusing on security, arms, military training, mercenaries, energy, resources, and political alignment to counter Western influence. Man, come on, man. But y'all don't understand. Y'all saying that Babylon is not America, man. Y'all saying that all these other nations is not standing up to go against America. You know? But once you really do your due diligence, you study to show thyself approved, everybody is pointing their missiles towards America. Everybody is putting their training, their money, their funding towards America to take it down. Right? All right? Energy, resources, and political alignment to counter Western influence and build a multipolar world, leveraging historical Soviet ties with new deals in nuclear, tech, and agriculture, supported by high-level summits and increased scholarships. Moscow offers sovereignty-focused partnerships, contrasting with Western models, securing political support and strategic access, especially in the Sahel, while African nations increasingly see potential in diversified partnerships. This is what's going on. Now, what does that do? That also supports what we're reading. Okay? And yeah, we're going to go to that Revelation 17. We're going to have to get that. And we're going to have to, Revelations 13. We're going to have to touch on that. All right? And Revelations 20. Okay, so as we see, Ethiopia, Libya, these Hamitic nations are joining with Russia. And then Gomer, that's Turkey and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Now, what is that also talking about? BRICS nations, right? Let's go now. Let's look up BRICS nation. Members. The members right now is an intergovernmental organization comprising 10 countries. Brazil, that's including those many other nations. China, Egypt, Ethiopia. Whoa, what the Bible just say? All right. And that's furthermore, it's not just talking about Ethiopia, that area, but more so that region, those people. All right. It's not just talking about that one nation. If you know that Africa once at a point in time was all called Ethiopia, right? You know, it was predominantly just all of that. Or the land of Ham. India, that's what? That's Elam. Okay? Indonesia, Iran, that's Elam again. Russia, South Africa, and the United Arab Emirates. Okay? Or Emirates, whatever. I don't know how to say that. But that's what? That's Ishmael. That's Saudi Arabia. That's Dubai. That's those type of nations. That's oil barons. Okay? What's something that you got to understand how military warfare goes down? What's something that you do? You cut off your enemy. You cut them off from resources. You try to starve them out. This is what's going to happen, man. A normal tactic of warfare is blockades. Yeah, sanctions. That's the warfare before the warfare. Sanctions, right? Economic warfare is already taking place. For you Patrick Stars that's living under a rock, you already have economic warfare taking place, but you can't see that. No, it's ain't no WW3 gonna happen. It's all good. No, it's not all good. Why is the price of milk, the price of eggs higher than it's ever been? Why can my $50 only get me 5 items in the grocery store, man? Okay? When it used to could get me a whole basket full of food. Why? Because of what's going on. All right? So these nations and more, far more are joining with them. You know? Let's see if we could get those looking to join, because those looking to join is, right here, with over 40 other nations like Indonesia, Nigeria, Algeria, and Venezuela seeking membership for greater influence and access to development finance, fostering a significant bloc of global South countries. So you have over 40 nations that are seeking membership. Okay? So this is nothing to play with, man. This is not light. This is major. This is what you call, you go back to World War II, World War I. Let's go to World War II. All right? Cause those brothers, remember you playing those Call of Duties, right? You playing those World at War, you know what I'm saying? Those right there, that stuff come in handy. We was getting taught. That was interactive studying. You had the Axis and the Allies. Okay? You had the Axis and the Allies. You had certain nations joining with one another to fight the other. This is what's going on. As always, it starts economically, and that economic strength, that economic membership turns into a military fight. The Allies and the Axis powers were two major military coalitions that fought against each other during World War II. All right. The principal Axis powers were Germany, Italy, and Japan, while the leading Allied powers were the United Kingdom, United States, and the Soviet Union, along with China. That does not mean it was just them four or just them three. No, you had other nations taking place and fighting. All right. The conflict was global in scale and resulted in an Allied victory in 1945. Okay. This is what you know as the Second War. All right. Now, with that being said, we have what? These nations are far stronger now. The weak has become strong, as we just read in Joel. All right. So this as Trump said, I let Nero say it best, man. He said what? It's not going to be tanks and army guns, but it's going to be an annihilation. All right. That's what he stated. It's going to be an annihilation because it's nuclear warfare. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that Trump, that clip, man.
If they don't want to settle,
nah, that ain't it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Give me like 1 second, cause I got it. I got it somewhere. Man, I don't see it. And I ain't about to linger on it.
people, this.
All right, but you know, he basically said it's gonna be an annihilation, man. Okay, it ain't gonna be no Trump tanks and all of that. It's gonna be drones, and it's gonna escalate extremely quickly to nuclear warfare. That's what it's gonna be. Okay. Let me check the comments real quick. Russia has a powerhouse in oil now, with Iran and Venezuela tag teamed, and any Western-minded nation against him will freeze, and nations will hate America. Yep, shoot, they already hate America. And shoot, that's they're gonna hate us more, most definitely. Morocco has the world's largest phosphate deposits and a lot of other minerals. And that's what you're seeing with these nations, especially America, and the really the elite banking families. What they're doing is they're targeting nations where that has these mineral deposits, minerals needed to make what? To make ICBM missiles, to make missiles, okay? Because you need a certain type of missile. You need a certain type of material to make an ICBM missile. Let's look that up. And if you just dig into that, you'll find out why they're targeting these places. Highly enriched uranium, contains 20% or more uranium. Weapons grade highly enriched uranium is typically enriched to 90% uranium or more, but all HEU can potentially be used to make nuclear weapons with sufficient quantity and expertise. Now, this is why, hey, brothers, you don't watch movies and shit like that. This is why you need to watch some certain type of movies, because they're telling you in the movies. What is uranium like in a movie? If y'all know where I'm going with this. All right? Vibranium. Okay? That's what it's like. That's what they're doing. They even showed you that in that last Black Panther, where it was a massive amount of it in what? In Haiti. And that was actually real. This is why they're there. Okay? It's a massive amount of it in Chile. This is why they use that laser weapon from the sky. And they destroyed certain parts of Chile. It's a massive amount of it in what? In the mountains in North Carolina. This is why they did what they did with that hurricane. It's a massive amount of it in Hawaii. Okay? This is why. Because they need these materials. This is why China is looking and seeking to take over Taiwan. Because of what? Because Taiwan produces 60% of the world's chips. Let's look that up. Everything I'm saying, you can look it up. Oh, matter of fact, I stand corrected. Taiwan produces a dominant share of the world's semiconductors, particularly over 90% of the most advanced CHIPs. 90%, not 60, 90%. Okay? Thanks to industry leader TSMC, making it crucial to global tech, but also a geopolitical focal point, while overall capacity might be around 60% of, okay, that's what I meant. Because my mind be going. All right? They got 60% of global revenue. Their leadership in cutting edge tech like chips is nearly absolute, powering everything from phones to supercomputers. What is that? That's cars. That's your cell phones, your supercomputers, your refrigerators. All right? Everything that's on the grid. Also what? ICBM missiles. You need chips, semiconductors. That's what they are, to power an ICBM missile. How do you think it got the ability to dodge and do all of that, man? It's the AI. Okay? These things are ran by AI. All right? Yeah, the brother put it, America is funding weapons for Taiwan, and China is tight about that. Exactly. Everything is connected. You follow, what do you need to follow? For brothers that study, do lessons, follow the weapons and follow the money. If you follow the money, it's going to lead you back to, I'm about to get the live took down. It's going to lead you back to BlackRock. It's going to lead you back to Vanguard. If you follow the money, all right, you follow the weapons, all right, it's going to lead you to who is producing things that need for the weapons. It's going to lead you to the minerals, the resources. It's going to lead you to the chips, the stuff that's needed to go into the weapons. We already know the final conclusion. We know it's going to be 200 million missiles coming down. So how do we get to that point? That's what we got to know. So now I need to know, how are they going to make these 200 million warheads? How are they going to make these things? Where is the material, the resources going to come from? Right? So that's all you got to do. Yeah, the real life's Tony Stark. Shoot, Elon Musk think he the real life Tony Stark with his goofy ass. All right, so let's go back to Ezekiel 38, verse 7. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. What did we just talk about? Okay? That they're what? Russia has alliances. They're funding They're supporting, they're guarding over these nations. So they are being a guard to these nations, man. Okay? After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have always been waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thou, thus saith Yahawah power, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Now, the foolishness, or I would say some brothers are sincerely ignorant, but then when we give them the correction, they can't take it. You think that we're going to be in the land of Israel and God is going to come and mess with us. That's incorrect. That's what we was trying to tell that brother the other day. All right. I want to jump from there. I want to go to Revelations 20:7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Now, this is talking about what? Around the 1400s. When he comes up out of the Carcass Mountains, when he comes up out of that spell, that great delusion that he was really under, which, had him walking, being foolish and being stupid and all of that. All right. Yahawah brought him back up to take us over. He came down with the Black Plague. When did the Black Plague happen? Let's look that up. These are things that you should be looking up. You should know. The Black Plague or the Black Death was a bubonic plague pandemic that occurred in Europe from 1346 to 1353. It was one of the most fatal pandemics in human history, as many as 50 million people perished, perhaps 50% of Europe's 14th century population. Now, who was ruling Europe at this point in time? Us. Us. All right? Who was unaliving the most? Us. Who actually washed their fucking hands? Us. So when these wild men came down with all their germs, it's the same fucking thing. How did they take over the Native Americans? Sickness. How did they take over the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas? Sickness. It's the same thing. The same thing. Just use your brain. It's the same thing, man. Disease, yes. Trickery, sorcery, deceitfulness. This is all they do. Their body, Yahawah made their bodies, immune to these sicknesses. Because they lived in their shit. They lived in their piss. Okay? That incest, they was used to that. That's what they did. Fucking their sister, fucking their aunt, fucking their mother. That's what they did. All right? They used to this. So those type of diseases and things that they was getting, it didn't affect them no more. They are immune to that. You understand? That's why, bro, you look at it right now. A Edomite, it's cold outside. An Edomite can go outside in shorts and a short sleeve. By golly, how you doing? I'm out in this bitch in a sweater and a jacket and some sweatpants with some long socks on. But he out here in some shorts and he ain't getting sick. He ain't getting sick. Okay? Because these motherfuckers lived in caves, man. Their DNA, it goes back to that. They adjusted to this. They're animals. Over many years, over a millennium, 1,000-year period, man. They lived in caves, bro. They didn't know how to build a coat or none of that. They suffered. And their body adapted to that. All right? So they came down with that bubonic plague, and that was how they unalived a lot of our people. You know? And even before that, if you understand, they was what? They was fighting us. They was fighting the Moors. All right? They was fighting as well. These are the real savages. So going back to verse 8. We understand this is when Satan was loosed around the 1400s. Now we say that because we understand they began to come in the 1300s. They began to make their imprint and sow those seeds in the 1300s. All right? They began to come. They fully took over in the 1400s. So Satan is loosed, right? And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. That means they're going to take over everything. They're going to take over every single nation. Don't they own Australia? Don't they own all of Africa? Okay? Don't they own all of America, Canada, South America? Don't they own Antarctica? Don't they own all of Europe? Don't they own majority of Asia? Russia is majority of Asia. All right? They have over, I done showed y'all this before, they got over 10 military bases in Japan. So they basically own that shit. All right? They got military bases surrounding China. So they went across to all the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. This is not talking about after we reign. No. This is why some of you brothers, man, all right, these idiots. Now I'm gonna be honest, man, because you ain't under the elders and the apostles and the bishops, man. You just woke up yesterday, thought you figured out you was an Israelite, and you just thought you could teach. And you break it down incorrectly, improperly. So you think that this is after Yahawashi reigns for 1,000 years. Let's go to Daniel 7, man. And I'm tired of it. Let's go to Daniel 7 and 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Nobody will ever take us over. Nobody will ever. Matter of fact, I'm glad the brother brought that in. Daniel 2 and 44. And I was showing the brother Amana this yesterday. And this is also, because these individuals don't got the spirit of prophecy, this is also important. Because that statue, let's get this. Okay, the statue. All right, let's go through it real quick. I'm gonna just speed through it. Head of fire is gold. That's Babylon. That's Babylonian. That's the Babylonian Empire. That top. These are time frames. You can see the time frames right there. Okay, chest and arms of silver. That's the Medo-Persian Empire. These are certain empires that was established on the earth that the Most High set up. This is prophecy. When he told Daniel this, in Daniel the 2nd chapter and Daniel the 7th chapter, this was a prophecy. All right? Belly and thighs of bronze. That's what? As you can see, that's Greece. That's the Grecians. That's the Greek Empire. All right? This was also a prophecy. Legs of iron and feet of iron and clay. Now, those legs of iron, that's the Roman Empire. In its first reign, then that beast would suffer a deadly wound, and then it would come back as the feet of iron, and that clay is these other nations. So it's a mixture. It's a mixture. That feet of iron and that clay. And then what do we have? That stone, the everlasting kingdom of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, coming to take away all that shit. Look at the stone hitting the feet. This is what's going to happen. So where the fuck does it say that the feet is going to come back and fight the stone? You idiots don't know fucking prophecy. And that 100% goes out to the IUI fucking C, man. Teaching that Gog and Magog is going to rise back up. And any of you brothers that's supporting that. Ain't nobody going to rise up and fight us, bro. Do you know who we are? Nobody. Will it be minor rebellions? Yeah, it could be some damn rebellions. We understand that, but guess what? We going to put that shit down ASAP. We going to put it down with the quickness. What we going to do? It's not going to rain in your region, according to Zechariah, the 14th chapter. Okay? What? The curse of the donkey, the ass. You're going to have to bring your 10 parts, the order of Malak Tazadok, Melchizedek. You're going to have to bring everything. You will be under. You will be serving. These guys are extremely foolish, man. Verse 19, then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces and stamped the residue with his feet, and the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom the 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. That's what? That's these damn Americans. The American Edomite is the most prideful. All right? I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Can we get that word, man? Let's just go to the web and define it. Let's just go to the web and define it. Possessed means being controlled or influenced by a powerful force, like a spirit or obsession, or having a strong, almost maniac drive. Now, really, we just take the top. Matter of fact, I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's go to Edameline. Let's go to edameline.com. All right, let me make a new tab. To hold, occupy, inhabit without regard to ownership. All right. To have and hold, take, be in possession of. To have and hold in one's control, be master of own. All right. Having power, powerful. So that's what it is. If you, and this is also what we know these individuals don't believe. They don't believe that Yahawashi is the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. If you're talking about he's gonna lose his kingdom, then how is he the King of Kings and Lord of Lords? If he's gonna lose his kingdom to Gog and Magog, it makes no sense. All right, it makes no sense. Charles, hey, I'm not doing the bullshit today. You get your ass up out of here. I'm not doing it. This ain't no debate. Okay? The only thing I'm addressing in the comments is precepts. That's the only thing I'm going to actually give attention to. Let's get that Revelations 19 and 10. And it reads, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahawashi, and worship power. For the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. That's what it is. If you don't got it, you don't got it. You know, it ain't, you can't buy it. All right? You don't got it, you just don't got it, man. What do we tell brothers all the time? Pray and fast. We give you the names. We give you the understanding. We give you the breakdowns. You don't receive it, you don't receive it. What do we tell you? Hey, bro, just pray and fast, study and seek, and ask the Most High if these are the correct names. Okay? If he does not reveal it to you, it's nothing we can do to give it to you. John 6 and 44, he's going to draw you to it. If he wants you to get it, he's going to give it to you. We got faith. We understand because he did that to us. You know? I can't give you something that a man don't want you to have. All right? That man, that's wicked. Honestly, that's like, bro, that's like you trying to give somebody something and that man didn't want that brother to have that. That's like you telling somebody's secret. You don't supposed to tell nobody's secret. That brother told you that in confidence. And then you go forth and tell somebody that he didn't want that person to know it. That's why Yahawashi said, cast not thy pearls unto swine. Yeah, you talking about the Los Lunas, New Mexico Decalogue stone. All right. Also the Moabite stone, Mishe Stele stone. Talking about the name. The brother said, this dude found it on stone carved. Yeah, our elders have also went to that stone. So most definitely, the father's name was written in stone. And that's what we understand. You know, the correct language, the Lashawan Kadash, the Hebrew, was written in stone. All right. And these Edomites know that's the correct language. They even put it in the 10 Commandments, the movie. They put it in that movie. I think it's the Charles Heston one. You know, let me get this precept from the brother, and then we're going to go back to that Revelations 20. This is 2 Peter 1 and 19, and it reads, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that you take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. And what does that states? I'm going to say this, and somebody may take offense. We know more than the prophets of old. That brother saying he know more than Jeremiah. He know more than Daniel. He know more than Elijah. He know more than Elisha. Yeah, we know more than the prophets of old. Guess what? Because we was the prophets of old. The spirits of the prophets are subject unto the prophets. Understanding that, Ezra's is back. Daniel is back. Elisha is back. Nahum is back. Malachi is back. Amos is back. The prophets are back. And they know more than they knew back in. The Most High has revealed more to them. Daniel 12 and 4, as the brother put, knowledge is increased. So why wouldn't we know more? We supposed to be here and not know more? No, we have access to more. If anything, with all the access to the internet, the books, the library, bro, back then they didn't have the Bible fully compact like that, fully put together. All right? You think Jeremiah had the entire Old Testament? No, he had to go get scrolls, bro. He had to this scroll, this scroll, this scroll, this scroll. They had scrolls. He had no book put together fully like that. So we have an easier access to everything. All right, let me get that. 1 John 2 and 20. And then I'm going to go back to, because I don't want this is going to be too long. But ye have an unction, meaning an anointing, from the Holy One, and ye know all things. Let me get that from the brother, because I ain't been getting the brother's precepts. I know you've been putting them down there, Malak. Mark 10 and 45. I just been flowing. For even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. All right. So with that being said, he couldn't change it. There's no certain thing as free will. All right. Yeah, Charles, new wine can't go into old bottles. Okay, good. I'm glad you understand that. So be careful of the wine that you're taking in. If you stated earlier, if you the same individual that stated earlier, it's a remnant of people in all nations. No. Now, I don't want to get a confusion because we are scattered amongst all nations. Yes, but we are one nation, which is the nation of Israel. So that remnant, that election is among all nations, but they are of one nation. Okay? And that nation is known as Israel, Yasharahla. We are the Israelites. All right? I get that for you out, and then I'm going to go back. Let's get that. 2nd Esdras 1. Just to prove that those prophets are back. This is 2nd Esdras 1 and 37. I take to witness the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say. And now, brother, behold what glory I see, the people that come from the east, unto whom I will give for leaders, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Hosea, Amos, and Micah, Joel, Abdias, and Jonah, Nahum, and Habakkuk, Sophonius, Aggeus, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is called also an angel of Yahawah. All right, so understanding that is that the prophets are back. Okay, Charles, you said the strangers in the wilderness joined the first covenant with us. All right, Charles, if you know anything, what happened to that multitude that was with us? What happened to them? We could deal with this individual real quick. All right. They were unalived, man. Okay? Your statements is going directly against the scriptures. Okay? And this is what you're not understanding because you don't understand the law and you don't understand our people. Those strangers were unalived. All right? Moses dealt with who? The Most High deals with who? He deals with us, the Israelites. He's not dealing with strange nations. They wanted to work. They wanted to worship their false gods and things of that nature. All right? So, with that, if a stranger, you talking about keeping the Passover in that sense, Exodus 12, how can a stranger keep the Passover with us if that stranger be a slave? All right? He has to be circumcised. He has to be a slave. That's your possession. So your understanding is that you're believing that other nations can be saved. That's your statement, right? That's what you're saying? And you would be 100% incorrect. No, they're not joined into the covenant, brother. Okay? They're not joined into the covenant. That right there is talking about them keeping the Passover. That's not talking about them joined into the covenant. Okay? It does not say anything about them joined into the covenant in Exodus 12 and 48. It's just talking about them keeping the Passover. You understand? Who's the covenant made with? It was not made with heathens. It was made with who? Abraham and his seeds. Which is Isaac, Jacob, and then Jacob's seeds. So that covenant is only for Jacob's seeds, which are known as Israelites. All right? And you may be sincerely ignorant on this situation. That's why our brothers is trying to help you. They're giving you precepts in the comment board. I would suggest if you are a sincere brother and you care for your life, to take heed. Now, furthermore, I'm going to give you one precept and then I'm going to get back into my lesson. This is Jeremiah 31 and 31. And it reads, Behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers. Their fathers is letting you know that this is the same houses, because your house is determined by your father. So the fathers of the house of Israel and the house of Judah, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. So that first covenant was made with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. That second covenant will be made with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It's no way that you can join and be in the covenant if you're not born into the covenant. If your blood is not that of an Israelite, it's no such thing as a spiritual Israelite. You understand? So this is where your doctrine falls apart. All right? I don't even believe the brother's still in here. So, hey, let's get back to it, man. You know, and that's edifying for the flock either way. Let's go back to Revelations 20 and verse 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Says the same exact thing in Joel 3 and 2. Same exact thing in Zephaniah 3 and 8. Yahawah is going to gather these individuals together to battle. And they went up to the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city. And fire came down from power out of heaven and devoured them. Now, what is this talking about? It's talking about WW3. This is talking about, when they say beloved city, that's not talking about us being in the land of Israel. Oh, I see it. Like, I see how they fucking up. I see it perfectly, man. Because this is what they saying. They saying we in the beloved city, which is in Jerusalem. That's what they're stating. But no, hey, Tassad, what are we? We are a people before we are a place. 1 Maccabees 5 and 19. Okay? So that's their fucking problem. They can't understand that. When they see beloved city, they automatically think that we gotta be in Israel. Dang, what is it? Slakia. 2 Maccabees 5 and 19, I believe. Yep. Nevertheless, power did not choose the people for the place's sake, but the place for the people's sake. We are a people before a place. This is how we know you twisting. Because the Most High says, he says, my mountain Zion. He says Israel. He says Judah. He calls us that many times. He says Jerusalem, and we're not in Jerusalem. He says this many times. He lets us know. But he's talking about us wherever we are. All right? Wherever we are. We are a people before we are a place. Let me get Brother Nashar's precepts. Isaiah 52, 1 through 3. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. What? That got to be in Mount Zion, I guess. That's got to be geographically in Mount Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. I guess that means we in Jerusalem. For henceforth, there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. Shake thyself from the dust. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. He talking directly to the city. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. For thus saith Yahawah, we have sold yourselves for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money. Beautiful. Right? They don't understand personification, man. Look, this should be a standard, bro. Before you start teaching the scriptures, you need to know what alliteration is, metaphoric talk, similes, metaphors, all right, and literature in general. You need to actually go read a book. Okay? You need to learn these basic grammatical statements, with personification definitely being one of them. That is crazy. These are basic literary terms. That's why I love the Bible so much. I love the way that the Most High had it written, because I love music. I love writing. You know, the poetic part of it. It's beautiful. It's an art form. You know what I'm saying? And yes, exactly. The Holy Spirit helps you discern, jump over the spiritual stumbling blocks. Exactly. And that's furthermore going back to it, is that they don't got the Spirit. They don't got the Spirit. They looking at this and they thinking it's a literal, they talking about literal city, Jerusalem. They don't got it. They just don't got it. So going back to Revelations 20 and 9. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about. We're not going to be compassed when we in our city. We're not going to be compassed. We know it will be no more war, no more famine, no more death. None of that for us. All right? Yeah, man. These idiots stupid, man. Talking about where are the missiles in the scriptures. Because he don't understand alliteration. He don't understand personification. He don't understand that arrows are the missiles. That glistening spear, that's talking about the ICBM missiles. That iron weapon is talking about the ICBM missiles. You can't understand these terms because you don't have the spirit of prophecy. You don't have the Rakah Kadash. You look at the book as Isaiah 29 tells you, and it's just words on a page, man. It's just words on a page. That's all it is to you. To these individuals. You know? And compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city. And fire came down from power out of heaven and devoured them. This is what? This is talking about the ICBM missiles. And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire. Where's that lake of fire? That's going to be America. And brimstone, where the beast and the false prophets are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. You know? All right, Charles, you still here, man? I just gave you a whole thorough breakdown, but you didn't take it. Okay? You said Deuteronomy 29 and 10. Okay, I'm going to read that for you. Ye stand this day, all of you, before Yahawah your power, your captains of your tribes, your elders and your officers, with all the men of Israel. What is that talking about? What is it? Your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of the wood unto the drawer of thy water, that thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Yahawah thy power, and to the oath which Yahawah thy power maketh with thee this day, that he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, and that he may be unto thee a power, as he hath said unto thee, and as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Okay? So that's what you want me to bring out? Did y'all mute him? Y'all got him out of here? Oh, no, he's right there. Let's go to the top, buddy. These are the words of the covenant which Yahawah commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb. And Moses called unto all Israel and said unto them, Ye have seen all that Yahawah did before your eyes in the land of Egypt, unto Pharaoh and unto all his servants and unto all his land. Who is this talking to, Charles? Who is this talking about? Who is all of this talking to, man? You going down to 10 because this is what you wanted. Ye stand this day, all of you, before Yahawah your power. So this is talking to who? The children of Israel. Yasharahla. Stop coming back, bro. Just shut up and listen, man. You not sincere. Matter of fact, next time he say something, Kakama, next time he say something, No. Salvation is exclusively for us. Okay? This man, look, that's gonna be your last comment, my guy. That's gonna be your last comment. Let's go to Isaiah 46:13. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. And I will place salvation in Zion. For Israel, my glory. For Israel, my glory. Now, furthermore, let's get another one. Because you are extremely, like I said, you sincerely ignorant. And at this point, when we done gave you the breakdown multiple times, you done. You got a reprobate mind. This is Psalms 33:12. Blessed is the nation whose power is Yahawah, and the people whom he have chosen for his own inheritance. Who has he chosen? He has chosen Yasharahla, Israel. All right. Psalms 14:7. From the brother Yeramiah Gabar, Shalawam Malak. Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of where? Of Zion. When Yahawah bringeth back the captivity of his people. Who's in captivity right now? Jacob shall rejoice and Israel shall be glad. So Charles, this is what you got to accept, bro. It's only for us, man. Why the hell are you trying to give it to other nations when all these other nations spit and laughed in your face, man? You know what we call that, man? You a sap. You a sorry ass pussy at this point, bro. You's a sap. You trying to give something to them that they don't deserve. They have no business. They've never came into a covenant with us. Everything you brought out, we debunked. What you have on you is a contentious spirit. You have maliciousness. You're going against the brothers that the Most High has raised up to bring this out. I don't see you teaching. I don't see you standing on the corner. I don't see you standing in the rain. I don't see you getting yelled at from cars. I don't see you feeling all that, man. This is a thing to you new brothers, man. Look, submit your fucking self, man. As it says in 2 Esdras 14:34. Submit your own understanding. Stop coming into the truth with a predetermined mindset. Because you want all the other nations to be saved. The Most High is not an author of confusion. He deals with us. He does not deal with any other nations. Isaiah 40:15-17 tells you that. 2 Esdras 6:53 going downward tells you that. Psalms 147 at the end, 19 tells you that. He has shown his precepts to Jacob. Nobody else. These brothers is putting up many precepts, man. First Maccabees 2:10, beautiful. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils? But Charles, you want to save that nation that had you in slavery. You want to save that nation. Do you even understand what salvation is? No, you don't. Keep interrupting my lesson, bro. All right, let's finish this up, man. Okay. Gog and Magog. Now let's go to Revelations 13:2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Okay. Now, that bear, because we talking specifically about Gog and Magog. That bear is Russia. That lion is what you know as Britain or England. And that dragon is Rome, or what you know as the Vatican. All right, giving him his power, the elites, really, the banking families and all of that, and his seat and great authority. So all been set up. So we know that bear is going to what? It's going to fight against these other nations. They're all going to devour this individual, which is the whore. Let's keep going. Verse 3. And I saw one of the heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wonder after the head. When Rome was took down. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? How did Russia fall? Did anybody take it down? No, it fell from the inside out. It fell due to civil wars and political disagreements, all that type of stuff. It fell from the inside out. It couldn't establish and maintain all the provinces that it took over. All right, now I want to jump down to 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. This is what? This is Rome being reincarnated. A nation being reincarnated. That beast being reincarnated. Those 2 horns represent power. It's talking about the Democrats and the Republicans. Back in Rome, you had the patricians and the plebeians, I believe. All right. So you had a similar Democratic Party. You had a similar setup system. You had a House of Representatives, Congress, all of that. It's all just reincarnated. It's all set back up. All right. 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. He's wicked. Let's get Isaiah, because through what he says, he really hurts you with. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Through his laws and his practices, he comes and hurts you with these things that he's saying. What did Trump say before? He said it in November. In February, he's going to target over 300,000 Haitians. So he already wrote that into law that this is going to take place. So he speaks as a dragon, right? And then he's going to make it happen. He's going to take it down. You know what I'm saying? Y'all brothers, y'all got that second. All right, let me get that, because both of y'all brothers brought that out. 2 Maccabees, 8th chapter. So when I see it twice, that's the spirit. All right, this is 2 Maccabees 8:1. Then Judas Maccabees and they that were with him went privately into the towns and called their kinsfolks together and took them unto them, all such as continued in the Jews' religion, and assembled about 6,000 men. Nashar, what'd you want from that? I'm gonna go down. 15. And if not for their own sake, yet for the covenants he had made with their fathers, and for his holy and glorious name's sake, by which they were called. So Maccabees called his men together into the number of 6,000, and exhorted them not to be stricken with terror of the enemy, nor to fear the great multitude of the heathen who came wrongly against them, but to fight manfully. All right. First Maccabees. All right. I mean, I'm like, man. All right, yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Now, Judas had heard of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and made a league of enmity with all that came unto them. Right? And let's go down. Brother want me to get 15 and 16. All right, I get it. Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end they might be well ordered. And that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled, that's a president. Or back then you would know it as a Caesar. To one man every year, who ruled all over their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there were neither envy nor emulation among them. All right, so throughout it, we got the right precepts, you know. So yeah, that's showing you that the system of the Romans is the same identical system of the Americans, where you have a Caesar, which is Nero, DJT, a president, and you have a Senate House. You have a split, Democrats and Republicans. All right, that's what you have. You have that same architecture of government that's going on. You know, so keeping it going. Verse 12, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Rome being brought back to life. Rome is established again. That deadly wound was healed. So taking it back to Revelations 20, you understand now that Satan was knocked down, that Roman Empire was knocked down for 1,000 years, but now it's back, right? It's back, and it's ruling in that little season, that short while. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Okay, now we understand that to be nuclear warfare, atomic warfare, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know, and also those laser weapons. You know, some brothers would say that as well, because he makes fire come down from the heavens. All right, so yeah, and this is like, you know, who can make war against that? So it's in that same mindset where America or Rome is ruling in that same military strength, that same military power, where nobody can really mess with them. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. Now that's the ways, the practices, the characteristics. What's about to take place this week? Your Christmas, man. All right, you're practicing that. You're worshiping the image of the beast. Their ways, their false gods. You know, everything they want you to do. All right, so hey, as we saying, man, it's gonna be a lot of unaliving very soon. You just had a T attack in Taiwan. You had a T attack. I'm gonna just call them tats. You had a tat in Taiwan. You had a tat in Australia. You know, you're gonna have these all over the place at high rates, because what are they gonna put into this place? They want to instill fear. Fear mongering is something that Esau is accustomed to doing. They love to do, right? And don't get that wrong. That's not the Russians do that as well. The Russians do that as well. The Russians love to do that as well. So don't think just because the Russians is going against America, that's nothing wrong with them. No, we go all the way back to the beginning of the lesson, Ezekiel 38. The Most High has prophesied against Magog. He's going against them. He's not with them. He's using them to what? To bring down America, to fight, but he's also against them. All right. I saw that on that. The brother Matazabak said, Khan, I just found out that during 1830s, they sold our people to employees on, and New Year's. Yep. I just saw a TikTok on that. You know. Yeah, that's beautiful, because that's what it is. So, yeah, they sold us, man, as presents, as gifts. Oh, man. Oh, matter of fact, let's get that. Revelations 11. Because this is not fake. This is real, man. All right. Where is that at? We'll start at 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Ottawa was crucified. So that's America. Our dead bodies for 350 years, from 1619 to 1969. 350 years, 3 days and a half, right? We was in this place, all right? And we didn't know who we were, all right? And talking about Yahawashi being crucified, it means also to be tormented. He's being tormented. His people were here, and they didn't worship him. That's a torment, all right? They don't know him. They put him up on the screen as a YT man. That's a torment as well. They're calling him a different name, a false name, all right, in every type of way, man. You know, they're painting him a different picture. It's slander, it's torment, it's a crucifixion in a sort. Verse 9, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. So that goes back to Charles. If you still in here, Charles, you want to save these other nations. You say that they will get salvation as well. All these nations never did shit for you, Charles. But you want to save them. They never suffered your dead body, and they never put it in graves. They never told you who you was. This is going back to leadership. They're kings. You want to save whoever you want to save, the Chinese or whatever. Why the Chinese never told us who we were? They know who we are. Why the Japanese never told us? They know who we are. But Charles, he probably left because those type of individuals that you hold in sympathy and empathy for these other nations, you don't have a backbone. And Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is not looking for those type of men, man. All right? Those are weak individuals. Now, verse 10, and they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, tormented them that dwell on the earth. All right, so they sent us as gifts, you know. And you can look that up. You can look up the Belgium zoos. Let's get that. You got the Belgium Negro zoos. This was definitely taking place. All right. This type of stuff is not far-fetched, man. This is real. Okay. Let's look into that. Can I get some more of that? Did you know that between the 19th and 20th centuries, it was common practice in European countries, especially Belgium, to see Africans locked up in cages and exhibited in animal zoos like animals? Human zoos, also known, they got a name for that shit? Ethnological expositions, were a colonial, I can't read today, Salakia, practice of publicity, displaying people usually in a so-called natural or primitive state. They were most prominent during the 19th and 20th centuries. Right? So this is not far-fetched. This is real. Okay? And you want to have empathy and sympathy for these individuals. Right? For what they did to us. That's the problem with Christianity. Because they have brought you down to a soft level, and they want you to feel bad for somebody doing bad to you. You're supposed to forgive thy neighbor, which is your fellow Israelite, those of your nation. But you're supposed to never trust thy enemy. You know? Boy, NC is not the 50th in state education. I know we up there in the 20s at least. Hey, stop playing with me. Yeah, JK, crazy how Esau calling us primitive when they were the real cavemen. Exactly. So, but furthermore, it's just Yahawah, man. we was amazing. We was at the top, but we did not want to worship him. You know what I'm saying? And he took us and he put us in a position of where they at. So now you look at us, you look at Jake. Jake don't know who they are. Jake is out here like animals. Jake is out here crashing out. Jake is out here just hit and run, killing, doing whatever they do. So Jake is in that low state now. Wise to do evil. You know? So let's go back to Salakia. Let's go back to 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And this is most definitely coming down the pipeline. This will happen. All right? It's going to be a mandatory motion set where if you don't get in line with the society, you don't want to take the MOTB, you don't want to serve and worship the practices of the beast system, then you are a threat. All right? Trump has already said that Christianity is the number one religion of America. It's going to be the American religion. So, you know, hey, that man don't play. So because that's the Most High put that spirit on him. He's going to come forth and send whatever type of task team he wants to round up anybody that seems to be radical. And that includes me and you. All right? Man, I watched that movie last night. One Nation. No, Salakia. One fight, one battle after another. It's on Amazon Prime. It's alright. I'm gonna say it's alright. The beginning is kind of weak because Tiana Taylor cannot act. Alright, but you got Leonardo DiCaprio up in there. You got a couple other good actors. You know. Now the second half of the movie is kind of fire. But they show you how Esau operates, where it was dealing with migrants. It was dealing with ICE, DHS, Border Patrol. And they were showing how they operate, how they take out and do all of that. And, you know, a little scale and how people was fighting back. Right? So I would suggest brothers peep that out. Because it's going to show you how people are going to fight back when, you know, when these things come down the pipeline, when people are trying to round individuals up. And this is already happening, man. All right? We see how people out there protesting against ICE and all of that. And we know we don't get involved in that. That's not our lot. That's not our position. That's a 2/3 lot. Because we waiting on who? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay? So it's not our position to protest and march on the street. No matter how much you see the purple Power Rangers do it. All right? Verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma, a mark, in their right hand or in their foreheads. And as we always break down, that is what? It will be pushed in you. All right? They'll use a needle and they'll make an incision, a cut, and they'll insert it into you. So this is not spiritual. This is none of that. This is not propaganda. This is not an embargo. No, this is a physical action that will take place. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of the name. His name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right. Furthermore, let's get that. And 666, Chi C stigma, is what? Let's go into the root of it. And that stigma would be a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Orientals' usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. Now, what are you doing when you take that mark? You're stamping yourself with the token of your God. What do we have? Let's go to Ezekiel. I would hope that we have it. That's all we can do is hope. All right. This is Ezekiel 9:4. And Yahawah said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. And once again, what did we say earlier? Is that talking about the city, Jerusalem? Or is that talking about a people? That was a people before a place. That's talking about a people. Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a thawah, a mark. So that word is different. That's thawah. That's not charagma, because charagma is Greek. Thawah in the Hebrew is mark, which also means basically the truth, man. Upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. We sigh and we cry constantly, day and night, every single damn day, man, to the best of our ability, you know? So that's what we're going to do. So that right there, our mark is spiritual. It's not carnal. And to the others, he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. That city is talking about the nation, us as a people, not a place, but as a people. So they will be going, these angels will be going through the nation. And these are more so spirits. He will be using, what's his sword? Esau. He will be using Esau, or however he wants to take you out, all right, to take you out, to destroy you if you don't have that thawah, that mark. So you're going to get stamped. You're going to get stamped with the stamp of approval from Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, or you're eventually going to take the stamp of Esau, Satan, that devil, that old serpent, that dragon, you know? So it ain't no, you can't play the fence, man. That's why I'm glad, Elder Apostle Hart made it 2026 the year of apostasy, agents, and sellouts. All right? These individuals, man, y'all gonna be exposed. That's why we see these individuals not calling on Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi no more. They don't care. And if you fall out, I don't give a fuck, bro. You never cared, man. All right? You never cared. You was never in this. That's why our brother said they finished. I said, shit, when did they begin? When did they begin? When? They never begun because they was never in it. Ezekiel 5:5 from the brother Nashar. Thus saith Yahweh power, this is Jerusalem. I have set it in the midst of the nations and countries that are round about her. Talking about us being scattered. We are scattered. All right? We are a people before we are a place. So wherever we go, we are Israelites. Wherever we go. All right, so man, that's pretty much, let me see. I don't want to get anything else. We could do a little bit of Ezekiel 39, just to furthermore cement the fact that Gog, right, is not going to come after we reign, which I think that's already been set up. We understand, okay? This is talking about the end times. This is not talking about after the, actually, it ain't no after the 1,000-year reign, because it's never going to end. That's what we understand when we read Daniel, the 7th chapter. It's never going to end. This is an everlasting kingdom. It ain't no kingdom that just lasts for 1,000 years. No, it's an everlasting kingdom. Last time I checked, everlasting means forever. So if I have an everlasting body in an everlasting kingdom, then I will rule forever. So let's do a little bit of Ezekiel 39. Therefore, thus saith the Son of Man, prophesy against God, and say, thus saith Yahawah power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee, and will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. And this is where IUIC confuses it, because they think this is talking about us dwelling in the land. And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand. Thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel, thou and all thy bands, and the people that is with thee. I will give thee unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the fields, to be devoured. Thou shalt fall upon the open fields, to be devoured. Thou shalt fall upon the open field, for I have... Salaki. I put my phone on charger. I don't know where it stopped, so I'll just go back to verse 4. Thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel, thou and all thy bands, and the people that is with thee. I will give thee unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the fields, to be devoured. Thou shalt fall upon the open field, for I have spoken it, saith Yahawah. And I will send a fire on Magog, and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I am Yahawah. So he's gonna what? He's gonna send a fire upon Magog. So Russia is going to get hit with nukes as well. All right. Hey, Shalawam, Yasharahla a lot. I was doing a lesson on what we talked about this morning. You know, just furthermore going into Magog to make it more understood. All right, verse 7. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahawah, the Holy One in Israel. Behold, it is come and it is done, saith Yahawah power. This is the day whereof I have spoken. And they shall dwell in the cities of Israel, shall go forth and shall set fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years, so that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob those that robbed them, saith Yahawah. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea, and it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there shall they bury Gog and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Magog. All right, furthermore, just understanding that this is not after the rain at all. This is during the end times. Zephaniah 3 and 8, Joel 3. All right, Gog, Magog, that's the Russians, that nation, the land of Magog, those individuals. This is what it's talking about. When it says they're going up against Israel, they're going to go up against Israel, but not us. They're going to go up against those people that are in that land. So, as we read in the 38th chapter, they will think an evil thought. Matter of fact, let's go get that. I don't even think I read it. Verse 10. Thus saith Yahawah power, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. Nuclear warfare, destroying these people. When you think an evil thought in that sense of nuclear war, you don't care who dies. You know it's going to unalive millions. Right? So what you see in 38 is Yahawah controlling them. He's putting hooks into their jaws. He's putting a spirit on them to go forth and do his bidding, as he does with everybody. So he's using them to get rid of evil, and then he's taking them out because they're also of that same evil, of that same stock. They're also Edomites. It's no justification. That's like, man, if you ever watched the certain like mob movies, or some movies like spy movies and stuff, you'll see them use a hitman to take somebody out, and then they'll take out that person. That's what it is. That's also in that's what happened in the movie I was talking about. One battle after another. Now, matter of fact, let me shut up. If brother's gonna watch it, I ain't gonna ruin it. You know? But you see that happen. They use somebody to take somebody out, and then they take that person out. That's what Yahawah is doing with the Russians. And with all these other nations as well. Isaiah 2:4, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Right? That's it. No war in the kingdom. No war ever again. Now, does that mean, as we said, once again, will it be rebellions? Will people try to come up against us? Hey, it is what it is. Will we put that down quick? Yes. You know? But after the end of that 1,000-year reign, it's going to be, everybody going to be in order. So we're going to have to get them in order. Right? They're going to have to learn the laws, commandments, and statutes. Let's get that second address. That's a good one. They're going to have to learn the ways. But after much ass whoopings, they'll be straight. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith Yahawah. Right? So that's why Zechariah the 14th chapter is there, to let you know, anybody that rebels, anybody that goes against, it will no rain fall. So that's letting you, that will happen. It'll be some countries, they got no rain. They're going to be starved out, famine. Their crops don't grow because they wanted to go. They going to find out, man, they not fucking around. As the scriptures tells you, even after the nukes hit, those people that survived, some of them, they're not going to repent. Stop acting. Don't be realistic. Don't have this mindset where you think just because Yahawashi is coming back, everybody about to bow down. Now, every head and knee will bow eventually. But the fact is, we're going to get down and dirty. It's going to be a war. That's what Jeremiah 16:16 is there for. We going to have to kick open the door, man. And shoot, I like it that way. Because you telling me we getting these everlasting bodies, we can do all of this, and we don't get to use them? No, we going to get to use them. We going to get the spirit. We going to get to spar. Because that's all it's going to be, is a sparring match. Isaiah 60:12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. How do you utterly waste somebody? He going to allow us to go forth and be his battle axe. He going to allow us to go forth and get that shit in line. Hey, Nashar, hey, go handle them Elamites over there in the land of India. They tripping. They've been tripping lately. They ain't get a 10th part. They didn't get a 10th part last month. Go check them out. You know? That's what it's going to be. Rulership, man. Getting them in line. And then they going to have stories to tell. Man, our forefathers got unalived by the Israelites, so we don't go against the Israelites no more. That's how it's going to be. So it's going to be rebellions and things of that nature, minor, but it's nothing that we're not going to be able to handle. And then once they realize, let's get and I'm pretty much done. We just going through. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. when they realize that it's so much better than what they were used to, that it's real, it's authentic. You know how you got a kid and you just gotta correct them. That's all it is. They children. That's Isaiah 3. Children are our oppressors. And my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to error and destroy the way of thy paths. We are ruled over right now at this point by children. So when we get in that rulership position, we have to correct these children with some discipline. You know? Yeah, Esau gonna be that, yeah. But the heathen gonna have to get in line. So I hope, if anybody had any confusion, Gog and Magog ain't rising up and doing shit. Gog and Magog is simply a weapon, a tool of a nation used to go forth and gather all the other nations to fight against the beast system. That's all they are. And then after they accomplish their purpose, they will be also destroyed. And they will be servants. They will, Yahawashi is going to come back and fight everybody. All right? So that's it. Ain't nobody rising up to really do anything to us with effect. It'll be no effect. It's like your baby hitting you. Shit don't hurt. So ain't gonna be no to no effect. Understand that. Yeah, Super Saiyans. All right, if it's any questions, man, I take any questions right now. Any brother want to come up, got anything to add? All right, or anything. Man, let me see. I don't see nothing. I get the Jeremiah 16:16 because I quoted it. And look at the caption. Power will restore them. Let's start at 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahawah, that it shall no more be said, Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahawah liveth, that brought up the children of Egypt from the land of the north. From the land of the north. What is that? North America. All right. And from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again unto their land that I gave unto their fathers. So that lets you know, and it as it stands, it's letting you know that we are predominantly in Americas. Because it states from the land of the north and from all the lands whither he had driven. That's the scattering. All right? And predominantly we are in the land of the north, America. This place. As you can see, the gathering. I forgot the idiot's name, but we was dealing with that dude. He said everybody's going to be gathered to the valley of Yahawashi. Not everybody, but yeah, militarily, a lot of people are going to be gathered there to fight WW3. But you have another gathering, which is going on over here. Because we're not going to be delivered from the valley of Yahawashi, idiot. We're going to be delivered from Babylon. All right? That's where the majority of salvation is coming from. Delivered from Babylon. The people, hey, if you know somebody and they going to they going to the Levant region, they going over there, you better just give them a hug and say bye. You better just give them a hug and say bye. Because they most likely not coming back. All right? We being honest. They most likely not coming back, man. I'm like, hey, the water, Yahawah had it on my sister to get out of the military this year. And that was like that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahawah, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. Right? So from every place that they dwell at, all these bunkers that they have, it does not matter where they at. We're going to come get them. Okay? And this is what? This is after nuclear warfare. This is after all of that. All right? We going to be in a rulership position. We coming down with Yahawashi. He going to, hey, disperse. Go get them. 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 You know? We going to be like some Super Saiyans without the scouts. We going to be able to read heat patterns and shit. You know? Oh, yeah. I see like 100 of them in this little bunker right here. I'm gonna go in the front. I'm gonna knock on the door. I'm gonna knock on the door. We gonna be fucking with him because you know it. You know Jake funny. Jake got a sense of humor. Yeah, like the predator is the Halalyam. That's what it's a depiction of. The Halalyam, the angels. It's depiction of us doing that. That's what it is. Most definitely. All right. So yeah, bro, we gonna be fucking with them, man. We gonna knock on the door. That's what, I can't. That's what I'm saying. You think Yahawah gonna give us these everlasting bodies and not allow us to get down with him, get down in him? He is a what? Yahawah is a man of war. He's a man of war. He ain't no soft man. He liked to get busy. He used to fight with us. Right? Every time before we fought another nation, we fasted. Yahawah dwelt with us. He fought with us. In that sense, understanding spiritually. He's a man of war. He's the king of terrors. And how we gonna be what? We are his sons, right? So we're gonna be kings of terrors. We're gonna bring much terror to these Edomites. Much fear. Ruling them with a rod of iron, man. Ain't no play. So lose that those empatheticness that you got. You know, but what about her, man? She didn't do nothing wrong. Every fucking Edomite did something wrong. Ain't no such thing as a righteous Edomite. They all wicked. From the 2-year-old, the 2 days old baby, to the 99-year-old. They all wicked, man. That's why we're going to have a different spirit, a different mindset on us. Verse 16 again. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahawah, and they shall fish them. That's what we're doing right now. We fishing for the elect. If we catch you and you not, then we throw you back. We throw you back. We don't, you don't belong here. Okay? You're unclean. All right? And Yahawah determines that. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahawah, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. It's no place on this earth where you can hide. You can't hide from judgment. All right, let's get that. Yeah, let's get that Psalms 149. Let's get that. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of power be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. All right, that's including 1/3 of our people. I mean, Salaki, that's including 2/3 of our people. Let's say you're a smart guy or something. You think you smart. And it's all through the spirit and power of Yahawah. All right. You wasn't in America. You a Jake that didn't live in America. You lived somewhere else that a nuke did not hit. And you think, it's all good, but you still don't want to serve Yahawashi. You know he back. Then what's going to happen to you? Brother put it in the comments before. Luke 19:27. Bring them before me and slay them that will not allow me to reign over them. You don't want to bow down. So this is what's going to happen to you. In this order. You're going to be brought before Yahawashi in front of all Yasharahla. All right? In front of everybody. So you're going to have much shame on your dumb ass. You're going to be brought before the king. Okay? And then you're going to get your head chopped off. And then you're going to be brought back and thrown into the lake of fire. That's what you want, though. You see what he did. He came back and destroyed everything on the planet. But you still got so much pride in you that you can't submit. But you got people in our nation like that. Most definitely. All right? You got people in our nation like that. Go ahead, bro. You got a question. Go ahead. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. What? Our beds. What's that bed signify? Rest. We will have rest. We will be in a state of rest. As it tells you, Esau practices wickedness upon their beds. Okay? Yes, it's elect outside of Babylon. What the hell is you talking about? My bad. Yes. Okay, brother? Yes. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I was like, what? You got brothers in the UK, bro. You got GMS everywhere. All right? And just because you GMS does not mean you elect. But you have brothers teaching this doctrine, this 100% doctrine everywhere. All right? You got the brothers down in Australia, Matazabak, brother Yashar. All right? You got brothers in Africa. Okay, you got brothers in South America. You got GMS Bolivia teaching the same exact doctrine, saying the exact stuff. Okay? I mean, that, like, bro. Okay, look, man, for anybody in here, think about the questions before you ask it. How many times I got to say this? Think about these questions. This lets me know y'all really ain't watching Great Millstone. Y'all think Great Millstone just in America? But Abaniah not in America. That brother bring out lessons constantly. All right? What y'all, come on now. Pay attention, man. That's why you gotta watch more videos, man. All right? Because this is what brothers do. When you watching videos, brothers what? Brothers exhort other brothers. Brothers do lamb back videos on other brothers that did certain videos and they bring it out. So you find you get in contact with other brothers via brothers because of the brotherhood. I don't know how many times I done watched brothers' videos and they talk, oh yeah, Shalawam to the brother out in the UK that brought this to my attention. I'm just doing a lamb back video on this brother, right? He brought it out through the spirit. Boom. So we just read it though. But the thing is, we just read it. This is the thing. Like, you in the lesson, but are you really listening to me? This is Jeremiah 16:15. We just read it. But Yahawah liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, which I just broke down. That's America. And from all the lands whither he had driven them. Like, yo, for real, are you serious with that question? I just read that. I just read that. Man. Verse 6. Let the high praises of power be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with feathers of iron, to execute upon them the judgment. Written, this honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahawah. Now, with that being said, what's majority of these individuals that's going to be in these bunkers? It's going to be their kings and their nobles, their presidents, the elites, the ones that had enough money to build a $10 million bunker under his house. And those bunkers will not be in America. America, as you know, Revelations 14 chapter, verse 10, is going to be the lake of fire. It's where they're going to be tormented. We're going to go gather them from their bunkers. The individuals in the know, they have bunkers in different lands. Okay? Look at Oprah. She has a bunker in Switzerland. All right? Look at all these other, they have bunkers in Switzerland, Sweden, all these different type of lands. Not in America, because they know what's coming to America. All right? So we're going to be going to these different lands that were not hit with nukes. That's furthermore letting you know, to these idiots, the earth will not be destroyed. And you will have places that are not hit with nukes. You have literal safe zones that are no nukes, like New Zealand. That's a whole lesson in itself. New Zealand is one of their locations where they all want to go and they want to start over life at. New Zealand. Okay? So they have a lot of bunkers in New Zealand. But hey, man, I'm going to get one more precept and then I'm going to get up out of here. Isaiah 24, 18 through 22 from the brother Nashar. And it reads, and it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit. And he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. And the earth actually will rock to and fro, man, from the nuclear warfare. You got 200 missiles, 200 million missiles hitting this earth. The earth is going to shake. Right? You think about one nuke hitting, it makes that entire area shake. Now think about nukes hitting America, nukes hitting Russia, nukes hitting China, right? Nukes hitting parts of the UK, England, places over there. Okay? The earth is going to rock to and fro like a drunkard. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean, dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahawah shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. Booyah. Hey, beautiful precept, Malak. Beautiful precept. Right? So that's what you're going to feel, man. We're not, Yahawah Ratazah, not us. Okay? Because we're going to be Revelations 15 chapter in that sea of glass, watching everything happen. All right? I read down to 23, verse 22. And they shall be gathered together, all as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when Yahawah of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion, and in Jerusalem, and before his ancient glorious. All right? That's beautiful. And the moon shall be confounded, the sun ashamed, is because what? The light is back. That ain't talking about the moon going away or the sun going. No, the moon and the sun is forever. Just how the earth is forever. Just how the stars in the sky is forever. Do you understand? The Most High created these things. These things are good. There's nothing wrong with the moon and the sun. Nothing's wrong with the stars. Nothing's wrong. Nothing is wrong with the earth. It's just the people that's in the earth. They fucked up. Not the earth. The earth ain't do shit. What the earth do? Y'all mad at the earth. I did a walk and talk yesterday. I said earth is good. That's the title of the lesson. Earth is good. Nothing's wrong with the earth, man. If you walk on the earth is going to heal you. The Most High created it to do that. Nothing's wrong with it. I was like, y'all mad at the earth? No, you gotta be mad at Esau. The earth ain't do shit to you. All right? The earth didn't do shit. So yeah, the light of this truth. And the light, Yahawashi is that light. Right? We're going to be the light of the world. We're going to be that light in those everlasting bodies, wherever we go now. Because we're a branch of Yahawashi. He's the everlasting Father. He's ruling over us. So wherever we go in this universe, we're going to bring light. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing to see that. All right. Let me see, man. Anything else I want to get? Hey, man, I stay up in here with y'all, man. I'll be up in here for hours, man. All right. Because we could just keep going and keep going. That's why I got to take it upon myself to just end it. I'm flowing in the spirit right now. And y'all ain't playing. Y'all keep dropping precepts. But, yeah. But hey, summarizing it, okay? Summarizing it. Magog is the land. Gog is the president. All right? Meshach, Tabal, that's the king. That's the president that rules over Magog, the land of Magog. Okay? Magog will simply be used as a weapon to guard over the other nations and to gather the other nations, as we went into and showed you what? BRICS nation. Okay? So we went many places and we brought out many things. All right? Let's go back to that. All right, BRICS nations, right? You have those 10 countries and then 40 other countries that are going to be joined with Russia, that's going to come together and fight against America. Now, brother also put Revelation 17 and 16. That will what? That's when NATO, the beast, because that's the beast. America is a part of the beast, yes, but America is also known as the whore. All right? But NATO, the beast, is the EU, NATO, that's the beast. All right? So they will eventually hate the whore. The beast is going to hate the whore. Understanding that. So you're going to have NATO and BRICS all eventually turn to destroy America. And then even after that, what? You're going to have Yahawashi come back, and then NATO and BRICS nation, all these countries are going to what? They're going to turn and fight Yahawashi. And Yahawashi is going to do away with all of them. All right? And then whoever's left over, the residue of the warfare, they're going to go straight into slavery. All right? Now, hey, summarizing it even more. The elites, because you know the elites are not going to fight. They're going to be what? They're going to be in bunkers. So in those bunkers, after Yahawashi, he brings us back, he brings us up. Because understanding this, our salvation is coming when America is destroyed. When those nukes hit America. So we're going to be beamed up. Yahawah we be of that number. We're going to be beamed up. And then we're going to be allowed to come with Yahawashi, King David, the apostles, the angels, all right, as an army. And he's going to disperse and send us, to fight. and to pull these elites up out of the bunkers, right? So we'll have our ordeal in that. And when America is destroyed, understand this, America will send nukes as well. So all of that is pretty much taking place at the same time. All right? It's going to be extremely fast. That's why the scripture says 1 hour. It ain't going to be no long fallout war. When WW3 begins, it's going to be over extremely fast. We're going to be up out of here extremely fast, right? But we understand that these false prophets have to be brought to the light. We understand that MOTB has to be made mandatory, all right? Jacob's trouble, we in that, you know what I'm saying? It'll be no more preaching, no more teaching, all of that. It's going to come to pass, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, I hope this was an edifying lesson. Ate the water for all the precepts that y'all brothers brought out. Yep, that 2nd Esdras 13th chapter is a good one to go and read and understand that. All right. But hey, facing the east, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to the Father and the Son. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone that rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us his truth. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, as always. And Kwam Yasharahla and a Baba Ball to this wicked kingdom. May Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash destroy this bitch yesterday. Let's get up out of here. Hey, to brothers, study. Study harder. Study more. Watch more videos. Write down. Take notes. Go over those notes. Okay? Stay in the spirit. All right? You should be living, breathing, you know, and eating this. You should have the basics. You should have the basics under your grass. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, hey, with that being said, Shalawam.